So, unconditional love.
Here's what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is, now we have to say at the beginning of this answer that Source is expanding because of what you are living. You have to accept that Source is not a static state of being that achieved perfection and now is working to bring you up to speed with it. Source is expanding in its perfection through those like you. So again, here's the story. Source energy projecting part of itself into that which is you. You explore the contrast and you become more, and then it's your work to get up to speed with that. Now stay with us just a little bit. So now Source sees you and feels only appreciation for that which you are, regardless of the condition that you are living. Because Source is so practiced in this knowing of well-being that the condition that you are currently living does not dissuade it from its knowledge of well-being. Unconditional love is staying in the vibration of Source regardless of the condition. Conditional love says, I want to feel good. When I see that, I do. When I see that, I don't. So this condition has to change so that I can feel better. Unconditional love says, I am Source and I am love regardless of the condition. So that's why man translates that to say God is love or God loves all. Unconditional love, that's what you're all reaching for. You want to be tuned in, tapped in, turned on to who you are and living in this world. It's the best of everything. To be in this world where you're mixing it up, getting new ideas and then coming into alignment with it. The only freedom that you will ever find is the freedom from the bondage of resistance. In other words, what resistance is not allowing yourself to be who you really are. All pain and suffering are about diverging from who you really are. All joy and alignment is about coming into vibrational frequency with who you really are. And that is the epitome, it is the most descriptive word for what love is. Love is the absence of resistance. Love is vibrational alignment with that which is Source. Love is tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Love is vibrational alignment with Source. Unconditional love is vibrational alignment with Source, even when there is something that I don't want happening. You're a lot of trouble, you know.
So, can you offer us some words that would desocialize us so that we get to the point? What are some words we could practice when we're by ourselves that would shore up this notion of putting how we feel above what others...
I love you so much, I don't care what you think.
Saying that to the peanut gallery.
To anyone. I love you so much, I don't care what you think. Now think about what that's saying. I so care about being in vibrational alignment with who I am. Because if I am in vibrational alignment with who I am, then I have love to give. But if I am catering to what you want rather than to my own guidance, then I'm not tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and I have nothing to give. I love you so much, I don't care what you think. Or, I love you so much, I must tune to the Source within me. And I cannot tune to the Source within me and tune to what you want at the same time. Don't make me choose between alignment with Source and what you think you want in this moment. If you will allow me, or whether you do or not, to align with who I am, then I can shine the energy of Source upon you and you will thrive. But if you convince me that I should cater to you rather than align with who I am, then I'll be out here on the raw and ragged edge with you and we'll just fight it out and blame each other for how bad we feel. I love you so much, I don't care what you think. When you get there and can deliver that with a straight face, you'll have it. Those not understanding will, what do you mean? If you love me, you'd care what I think. Well, it goes like this. I do love you. I love you so much, I don't care what you think. What do you mean? Well, you think I'm wrong, but in order to love you, I must know that I'm source. And I can't know that I'm source and know that I'm wrong at the same time. So in order to love you, I have to be in alignment with source, and when I'm in alignment with source, I don't care what you think. In other words, it's solid. It's just hard to get them to hear it, because you know how irrational people are when they're out on the raw and ragged edge. In other words, you can't get sick enough to help sick people get well, and yet you think that you can get disconnected enough to get disconnected people to be connected, and you can't. You can only help people align with source from your vantage point of being aligned with source, and you can't be aligned with source and catering to what they think at the same time. You just can't do it. Maybe there are other words that would be better. I love you so much, I don't care what you think. We like that. That's our first choice. I see you as you really are, not as you are being in this moment. I know the power of your being, and I know the reason that you are so upset right now is because you are right now not allowing yourself to be the brilliant, beautiful, tuned in, tapped in, turned on person that I fell in love with to begin with. And if you don't mind, I'm going to go away and I'm going to hold the thought of who I know you really are rather than wallow with you in this disconnected state. Getting better. How about this? I've seen you in your alignment, and I've seen you not in your alignment, and I like you best when you're in your alignment, but when I'm in my alignment, it doesn't matter. That's good too. When I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you can be any way you want to be, because my love for you is unconditional. I am no longer going to hold you responsible for how I feel. Oh! What freedom you give to anyone that you would say that to. I no longer hold you responsible for how I feel. I'm in charge of how I feel. I'm in charge of how I feel. And I so know that I don't even have to ask the same back from you. That was good too. I'm so good at unconditional love that I don't need you to know how to do it. Think about what we're saying here. I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I'm thriving no matter what you do. You're not the boss of me. I am. I have the ability to align with source regardless of the conditions that surround me. I get unconditional love.
Good.